Please stand to the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the sick, handicapped, and departure of our community, also the military. Thank you.
Roll call, please. Mr. Henderson. Mr. Petroselli.
Here.
Mr. Colosimo. Here. Mr. Gallarducci.
Here.
Mr. Verducci.
Here.
Mr. Shashalski.
Here.
Ms. Cimaroli. Here. Mayor Copeland. Here. Solicitor McDermott.
Here.
Engineer Brett.
Here.
I'm Joe Coward. Chief King.
Here.
Chief Castain.
Here.
And Chief Miller.
Okay, just for the record, we have an executive session prior to this meeting to discuss the legal matter. Okay. Visitors? Bob Fry.
Yeah, I just have two questions to ask you guys. Have you been making plans, or although tentative, about getting the traditional streetlights that have been part of the bridge of Washington Avenue for years, and getting 10 or 12 of them purchased from the post office down to the new bridge? Have you discussed that at all, looking at the cost of that at all? Or looked into the funding of getting it?
Didn't we at least talk about, at some point, replacing the streetlights on Washington Avenue?
Replacing or putting the new?
Well, I don't know if we ever talked about.
I think it's been a talk of the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee is that the streetscape should be finished on the avenue. That has been talked about.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
It's been a talk for the planning for the comprehensive plan
Oh.
that the streetscape project should be finished on the avenue.
Yeah, okay, that's great. And the other, I was just going to mention the other thing is, part of that, to take advantage of this new look and this new image for Bridgeville, would be to plant some trees, not on the sidewalks, but on like the church and post office property, and on the other side, I guess the drugstore and Jason Strassner's probably. Years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I tentatively talked to those property owners, and they both seem to be willing to allow you to do it. So, that would have a great effect on creating a great new image. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Anybody else? Okay, let's go on our regular business here.
A motion to approve the July 10th, 2023 regular meeting minutes as submitted.
Ask for motion.
So moved.
Second.
Bruce and Becky.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye. Negative? Motion carried.
Number 2, a motion to approve the August 2023 bill list.
So moved.
Second.
And Mr. Bertucci and Mr. Cross.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Number 4, a motion to adopt resolution number 2023-9, a resolution of the Borough of Bridgeville giving notice to be included in the Allegheny County Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership Program for 3 program years of 2024, 2025, and 2026.
I entertain a motion for that.
I have a question. This is not our first rodeo with this Allegheny County Community Development, right?
No, this is a program requirement.
No, I read, but my
Yeah.
question is, what else, in prior years, what have we used that for within the community?
This funding helped reconstruct the sidewalks at Triangle Park this year.
Okay.
Last year it did curb ramps over on Murray Avenue. It's done a number of good.
Did those demolition crews flow down through that as well?
We didn't do it through them, but in the
Some of
past.
those ones do that.
Yeah, we could.
Okay, thanks.
And that was as a legal matter, because it was elsewhere, why are they doing this now? Some county solicitor issued an opinion completely unrelated to this topic that says that if you don't have a certain thing in place, they can't interact with the different governmental units.
I didn't ask for motion on this one yet.
No.
That's ironic. Let's make a remark right after the motion, it'll be better. Thank you, Justine. Okay, may I entertain a motion for the 2023-9 resolution?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Justine and Mr.
Yeah, you gotta say all.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Negative?
So you skip.
Motion carried.
Yeah, I missed number 3. A motion to approve the August 18th, 25th, September 1st, and September 8th payrolls.
So moved. Second.
Bruce and Nikki. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Negative? Motion carried.
5.
5.
A motion to authorize the disbursement of $82,455 from the sewer fund to Preferred Plumbing and Heating Solutions LLC for partial payment number 1 and final, and authorize the execution of change order number 1 and final, decreasing the contract by $1,860 based on in-place quantities and work performed for the backwater valve contract phase 6.
I need a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Mr. Verducci and Justine.
Question, Joe, is this from McLaughlin?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to abstain because I was part of it.
That's it?
All in favor?
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Negative? Motion carried. 6.
A motion to authorize the disbursement of $772.24 from the Capital Project Fund to A. Marini Contracting Incorporated for partial payment number 5 of the Warner Street Slope Stabilization and Retaining Wall Improvement Project.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Bruce?
I'll
And second?
I'll second.
Justine. 7. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Negative? Motion carried.
Number 7, a motion to authorize the advertisement for public bid of the 2024 through 2028 garbage and recycling collection contract.
I need a motion.
So moved. Second.
Bruce and Nikki. Yes.
Can I have a question at this time? 7 and 8. How big are the garbage cans now? This is 32 gallon will be approved.
That's recycling.
Okay, good. Because, just wondering, those are big cans, relatively speaking, because I have a elderly aunt in a neighboring community who has a can that big and can't handle it. And fortunately, though, and I know you're looking at bids, their recyclable pickup in a neighboring community is once every other week for the recyclables. So that's the good part about the big can, that she doesn't, she's 90 and has a hard time dealing with the big can. I'm just asking if it's a thought that you would
We're putting
solicit
out,
bids for every other week for the recyclables.
we're putting out a whole bunch of different options for bid.
Are you sure that they, by the way, they're putting out bids, they're gonna have every option available because things are transforming, as you can tell everywhere regionally, they're pushing from manual to automated. But we're getting bids for all sorts of manual and automated. Within the manual, they'll both do recycling and regular garbage. On each category, on the manual, we're getting a bid for manual plus weekly recycling and manual plus bi-weekly. And then on automated, they're getting a bid for weekly and bi-weekly.
Because you might get a cheaper price if
Bi-weekly,
you go bi-weekly.
they'll have a lot of options to look at based on price and on the can sizes, and to address your question. The original ones, you sure Lane doesn't have like a 96, because the ones they give out around, you see in the other communities, they're used. The 32s are actually smaller.
Let me tell you, I'm positive because I take care of the
Okay.
driveway.
Well, can you imagine that, you
And
know,
it's
the-
Summer St. Clair, and they pick up recyclables every other week.
well, those really large ones, they're, in any event, they're gonna offer, the initial ones are, I think, 95, they're big. But you're allowed to trade them out, they have to distribute them on their own, there's a rollout, and if, for example, somebody, that exact example, can you give me a smaller can, they'll trade those out.
Thank you.
Okay. We need a motion there?
Right, Tom, we're
Okay,
hoping
pardon?
that that's the case.
Yes, we're,
Nothing's definite until.
if we go to automate, if we choose to go to automated console, if they get a bid that goes to the lowest bid and it's attractive to go to automated, they will have to offer that because that's what the spec calls for.
There are quite a few options on this bid, so. Okay, we need a motion on that one?
You already have.
So,
Okay, what's the next one?
So,
9?
no, no, no.
Everybody in favor?
aye.
Against? Motion carries.
8, a motion to authorize the procurement of 32-gallon Sterling Series custom recycling cans with provided assembly and delivery to all households in the borough from Cascade Cart Solutions at Sourcewell Cooperative Purchase Contract price of $107,520. Note 90% of this purchase is paid for from an awarded DEP recycling grant.
I need a motion for that.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Verducci and Mr. Cross. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
9, a motion to authorize a transfer of 2022 general fund surplus funds of $371,000 to the capital project fund and $50,000 to the flood/budgetary reserve fund.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Verducci and Nick. 10.
A motion to accept and pay any commission due for the July 2023 real estate tax collector report.
So moved.
I'll second.
Mr. Verducci and Mrs. Maroney. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
Number 11, a motion to acknowledge receipt of the July 2023 treasurer's report.
So moved.
Mr. Verducci and second Bruce. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried.
12, a motion to accept all submitted July 2023 official reports.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Colosimo and Nicky. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carried. Committee reports.
Nothing to report at this time, thank you.
I do.
Administration. Nicky. You done already?
No, nothing to report at this time.
Oh, really? Finance, Mr. Verducci.
I was hoping we had something because I'm not ready. We had, one of the things in the audit report that we had a few months ago was to have a policy for our investment policy. We were not aware of that there was one, and more digging and discussions with a few different people. We did have one, so we had that reviewed, as well as we were able to meet with the investment company and have some additional discussions. So very well informed, Joe, and I thank you for organizing. And some of the things we had questions, and we may be able to look at it a little bit closer, but I was impressed. I was satisfied that we're doing the right thing in regards to a very important pension fund. And there was one more thing, and I do not remember what it was. So I'm done. Go ahead, Nina. Thank you.
Park and Recreation.
Okay, so short and sweet. Due to the installation of new playground equipment in McLaughlin Park and down in the Upper Cook School Park, we are stopping all rentals for the park shelters on September the 20th. We're gonna start construction up there. Hopefully they'll have them ready for the springtime. So, this is what, that's going on. And this Friday up at Cook School Park, we had the movie Mary Poppins. That's a family movie, and last year they had a pretty good turnout for kids' movie. It's a good movie. If you like kids' movies, which I sort of do, so I'll probably be there anyway, but it's a good time. If you've got some young kids, bring them up, and I'd like to thank Bruce Gallarducci and his wife, they sponsored the movie, so we appreciate it. That's all I got.
Any question for Mr. Cosimo? Mr. Cosimo, would you read the public notice since you're in the committee?
Okay, we did a little extra work down in Chartiers Park, I guess, painting dugouts, getting ready for the tournament season, and we helped them out. Painted all the light posts up on Washington Avenue. We've been losing light posts, like, it's amazing, but other light posts up on the Washington Avenue out there. That's about a couple thousand every time they get hit, right, Joe?
They're about $6 grand now.
So,
The light itself on top is almost $2.
But that's paid for by the insurer that hit it, correct?
If they're caught.
This one wasn't
Majority of the
caught?
time they are.
Okay. This one wasn't caught?
I don't remember the last one, Chad.
Which one are we talking about?
No, I think the last
Wow,
no,
that's
I think
how
the
many
last
there are.
one wasn't, and it was, the footer was out of whack, and it was the one that was leading, and our guys had to redo the footer on it. So that one we ate.
Trying to think.
There's been so many of them.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying 9 out of 10, she hit it and drove down to the Commonwealth Bank parking lot. Yeah, you got her. Yeah. Is that the one we're talking about? I think so. Because it disturbed the base, she knocked the base, but it didn't bust
And
the
that could be
pipe.
this one, yeah.
Wasn't there cameras most times to be able to catch them, or? is there some
No, they don't
space?
have the whole avenue covered,
Yeah.
but generally, we had pretty good luck in finding who hit the poles. I know we've had, what, 6 this year, maybe?
Yeah, it's been a lot. I would say the intersections, the catch-all has been doing really good saving.
Yeah, the license plate reader.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking we've pretty much solved that one.
Most of them, yeah.
Well, the one that took out 2 poles that we chased that night, even though we have a warrant out for it, he's disappeared, but I think we had his insurance information, so that should cover that.
But that was a big claim. That was like 17 grand.
Yeah.
What it cost us.
I'm gonna skip the next one. We have to make one more motion to, that was not listed here. We have to make a motion to change the meeting, am I correct? Should we make a motion? To 5:30 instead of 7? Oh, you make it. Go ahead.
You're still there.
Under new business. I thought we were gonna wait. to
Would you
new
want to
business.
go on to business?
It would be best to just wait to new business at the end.
Okay, you got it, okay. Next,
No
public
report, sir.
public safety.
No report, sir.
Public safety here. Mrs. Mayor, Honorary Mayor, next.
Thank you. We presented a proclamation to Tyler Janicki, who was responsible for the benches and the library box at McLaughlin Park at his graduation party. Mr. Colosimo was with me, and the family was very happy that we were recognizing him for his Eagle Scout project. We weren't invited to the Eagle Scout ceremony because it was held during COVID. So we were happy that we were able to present him with this proclamation, recognition of what he had done for our parks. I also talked to a little Daisy troop. They're part of Girl Scouts. They're the younger ones, younger than the Brownies, and was surprised that they asked me as mayor, did I live in a mansion? Did I have a limo? But they're being taught by Monica Boland on what they can do to benefit the community, so they're thinking of ways that they can contribute to to the community in the future. On September 11th, the Knights of Columbus are inviting us to the 9/11 observance at Corpus Christi Parish, and our Senator Devlin Robinson will be the speaker. That's September 11th at 7 p.m. And on August 19th, the One Music Fest, along with the Bridgeville South Fayette Rotary Club, are asking people to come and donate food for the Bridgeville Community Food Bank. And one of the things that Tim Anderson is asking for is a boost for some of the senior citizens that can't afford that particular item. So that's August 19th, 8 a.m. to noon at Bethany Presbyterian Church. Thank you.
That's all?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chief King?
Thank you, Council President. To provide a paper copy of our report, if there's any questions, I'll be able to provide answers to it.
So. Okay. Tom?
Thank you. I don't have anything to add to the.
Okay. Any question for the solicitor? Board engineer?
I did provide a report dated the 8th. I can entertain any questions on it, and then I need a couple minutes to do your annual MS4 training under tonight's report. So first, if there's any questions on the report, I can answer those, and then I'll go right into the MS4 training.
Any question for the engineer? Fire chief?
He's not
He's
done.
gonna do my job right now.
Okay, you're gonna do it right.
And I'll make this brief. There was a PowerPoint presentation included with your with the engineering memo. So the borough's had a MS4 permit since 2004. This is the third cycle. It was issued in 2018 and runs through 2023. DEP has extended it because of COVID 2 years until the next cycle comes out. We're waiting now for the department to put out what those requirements are going to be. You'll remember a couple years ago, the big buzz that everybody talked about was the pollution reduction plans that were now included. This is the first time within the permit that you had to do something construction-wise. Previous to that, you'll see them listed on the third page. You had to do what they call MCMs, numbers 1 through 6. That was all the normal stuff to operate your storm system. You had to have public education and outreach. You had to have public involvement, meetings such as this. You had to test your outfalls to see if there's any illicit discharges coming out of them. Construction site runoff, your ordinance had to address that, as well as post-construction management. And then the last one, MCM 6, was how you operate your facilities. So your public works garage, your parks, this building, anything that the borough actually owns, you have to have a written plan in place for that, which you do, and which public works follows, et cetera. When DEP comes out and does their inspection once every 5 years, you've already had yours completed. They look at that plan, they make sure that you're in compliance with it. They take a walk around the facility, and they'll go to the parks, they'll take a look at them and so forth. As part of the program, every year you have to turn in a report on September 30th to indicate where your progress is. And they did change now that the renewal fee is due annually, and it's $500. That increase with this permit cycle. As I indicated, yours was complete, your inspection was completed in 2021. No findings with that. Pollution reduction plans you have completed. If you remember, the storm sector project was your pollution reduction project that you had completed. Again, your permit will expire right now in 2025. As soon as they come out with what the new requirements are, we will get with Joe and with council so that you can start planning in 2025, 2026 for the next round of budgeting for your pollution reduction projects. We think they're going to uphold the 5% and 10% reduction like they did the last round. that may change over time, so. Any questions on that?
So are we ahead of plan for all the stuff we've done, or we're just right on?
You're right on, which is where the majority of the communities are. Some are lagging behind because their urbanized area and the amount of area that had to be treated was a lot larger. So because of funding, they run a little bit behind, but you've been fine, so.
You remember that's what the storm scepter project was a year and a half ago. So,
And we'll keep plugging away on it. So, any other questions?
Any more? Okay.
Thank you.
Chief Raymond Costanzo.
Yes, thank you, Council President. In the month of July, the fire department ran 35 calls. Just a reminder, Gun Bash is this Saturday, and also we have set the date for this year's Trunk or Treat event to be October 30th from 5 to 8. We will be reaching out in the coming weeks to all those who participated last year to see if they want to continue this year and open the space up for anyone else that's interested. That is all, sir.
Suffrage, Mr. Miller.
Nothing to report.
Any question for Mr. Miller? Historical Society, anybody has anything?
No report.
Thank you. Bridgeway Library representative?
Yeah, we submitted the written report, and then I just wanted to share a couple events. Next Tuesday evening, the 22nd at 6 p.m., we're having a program with Shelley Terrett, teacher and author who was here last month and did the Chartiers Valley History for Kids book. So she'll be there at the library next Tuesday. And then in September, the Friends of the Library have their book sale coming up the 15th, 16th, and 17th. So now's a great time to donate any used books, DVDs, CDs. And then Friday the 22nd, we're having a fundraiser called Puzzles, Pints, and Pies, and it's a jigsaw building competition, and you also get a slice of pizza and a piece of pie, and it's $25 a person, so if you're interested. Thanks.
Thank you.
What kind of jigsaws do you take?
Any kind, really.
Really hard ones?
Yep.
I have a whole bunch. I'm gonna bring them down.
I do have a question. I've actually had a few people ask, do you guys have any writing courses or writing at the library right now?
I don't think we do at the moment.
Okay. I didn't know. So I'll reach out to them and see if they'd be interested and have them reach out to you, see if they want to
Yeah,
formulate a class.
absolutely. Cool.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions for the library representative? Thank you. Mrs. Colosimo, thank you. You look wonderful at the hospital. You're looking well. Nice to have you here. Any report?
I gave you all a copy of the Bridgeville Parking Authority report. If you have any questions, I will state that our next meeting is not going to be until September the 18th. We're not having a meeting in August. And that's about all. I think we're on the verge of hiring someone. So we're doing the background check and all those other fun things, drug testing and all of that. So I'll let you know on that. And one last plea for the Bilter Dinner. We're still looking for some donations. Everybody's been pretty generous, but we still could use a few more dollars if anybody has any they'd like to spare. Thanks.
Thank you. On the new business, anybody have a new business before I make this motion?
There's still another page.
Stomp your hands.
Oh, borough manager.
No.
Planning commission, yeah, right.
All right, well, a very,
I've done this a long time, so I forgot all the procedure now.
a very important meeting is coming up this Wednesday, August 16th, where we will be asking the residents of Bridgeville to participate in an evaluation of ideas that the planning commission came up with, along with steering committee for the next comprehensive plan. So everybody's invited. There's 3 different ways to participate. One would be an online survey that you can, it'll be active the day of the 16th. You can do a virtual meeting at noontime via Zoom, or you can do an in-person meeting at 6 o'clock at the Bridgeville Fire Department. So Everybody that is a resident of Bridgeville is invited to attend.
Thank you.
It's the last one.
Any questions?
It's the last public meeting.
This is the last public.
Thank you. Borough Manager?
A couple quick items. Phase one of the new street signs have all been put up. A lot of people were asking about what are we doing with the old ones. The old ones are going to be given to the Historical Society, and later this year, when all of them are done, the Historical Society will be selling them as a fundraiser, so it's a nice partnership. The remaining 140 street name signs that are needed to finish the borough have been ordered, so we're on track to have everything up, and the old ones over the Historical Society by the end of fall. So it may time up well with the holidays. We resubmitted the grant for the Gregg Avenue steps for PennDOT multimodal fund transportation grant consideration. And we submitted the grant application for, like we've done the past couple of years, for the Community Drug Abuse Prevention Fund for Halloween treat bag handouts that worked out well for the Halloween parade. This past month, the Public Works crew has completed the last phase of exterior renovations that's been needed at the Borough Building. Back wall has been on masonry repairs done, the new garage doors are up, signage is up, lights were updated, LEDs were painted. So now the full exterior of the Borough Building is presented. Then the last thing I had, kind of dovetails with Councilman Colosimo was saying, was that the first phase of the improvements at Cook School and McLaughlin with the playgrounds under schedule, or scheduled now to start tentatively September 20th. We did receive approval as on last month's agenda to amend the grant using the remaining grant funds to reconstruct a basketball court, add a pickleball court up at Cook School. We submitted all the grant contract amendment paperwork to the state, and we're working with Kevin's staff to do bid documents. So it looks like that project will be a spring of next year of construction. So that's kind of where we're at with that project. But that was kind of a nice thing that we were able to squeeze in there and use up those remaining grant funds. So once playgrounds and the basketball courts done, Cook School Park will really be a shining. You have my written report for any questions.
Thank you, sir. Anything for our handsome young man over here, our manager? No question? Oh, yes.
There's a new business that I believe opens today or tomorrow at 502 Washington Avenue. It's a retail store, Cox Woodworking. Is that the company you're talking about?
Yeah, that's some of your message, it's just what.
Yes. I don't, they didn't tell me anything about like an official event or anything, but, and he has a Facebook page, Cox Woodworking, and there's a lot of nice stuff in the windows.
Thank you.
I have to, go ahead.
Sorry, Mayor, maybe we talk to Mandy and see if she wants to stop by and see
I
about
did
doing
send
the
her
grant.
a message this morning about it. She said she would do it.
I have a motion to make. I call for a motion to authorize a legal advertisement to change the September 11th meeting, because it's September 11th, to 5:30 p.m. I need motion, that's motion, I need,
So moved. Second.
Bruce and Nick. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Yes? Motion carried.
I'll make a motion.
Hold on, I need some news.
Yes.
I have some different things I want to bring up. The chili cook-off is coming up September 17th. We right now have 26 chilies. Our goal is to get 30. So help me out and send some. I've reached out to some different parties to see if they're interested in Bridgeville and South Fayette, and other businesses and so forth. So that's one. I will have tickets at the next meeting if you need to buy your tickets. It'll be all over social media as well. It was interesting, my whole vacation, we did entirely too much driving from Minneapolis through Wyoming to all kinds of different places. And I was looking at, it was a sickness of mine, I was looking at some notes over the last 4 years on different things that I've written down from different meetings, from different webinars or different events. And just to throw out the council on some things, now it's August, so we're getting close to the end of the year, and maybe some things we should consider, which I thought were very interesting notes I had previously. Should we have a meeting with Senator Robinson and Representative Kulik to discuss, like, for example, maybe not a 5-year plan, but what are our intentions or what we're looking to do in the next couple of years, just to prepare them that we'll probably be approaching them for assistance in funding, or just make them aware of some of the projects that we would like to pursue that are tied with a comprehensive plan, but just stuff that's going to be coming up in the immediate future with them being in their different seats. That's one. And then the second one I found interesting, that we've been talking about doing this forever, and I'm going to bring it up again. Should we have some type of summit meeting with the communities on the Route 50 corridor to try and just be all together and understand or address some of the different items that we're talking about, that we have been talking about in the past? And, you know, we've had a lot of good things happening, and there's some things going on up in Collier right now, and we just finished the bridge. What's the next phase? Bob, I don't want to talk about it after the meeting. But it is something that we should try to get all of the different organizations together. If it's a couple representatives from each community, or if it's everybody, I don't know, but it's just something that I think that when I read it, I'm like, man, that's interesting. We got all these things done now. All right, what's next? Because we shouldn't stop, obviously.
Right. Well, I think looking at it from the planning commission side, it's a perfect opportunity for us to, I mean, going through the comprehensive plan, we become better educated as to what the community needs or wants, what businesses need and want. It would be a great opportunity to get people together so that we can develop a plan, or at least have some ideas as to what would be acceptable.
Well, we didn't get enough participation on wanting to do multi-community comprehensive plan.
Right.
So I don't think we're going to want to look at a whole huge thing, but at least have a discussion to start with and try to push forward. So those are just some of the ideas. It was really interesting seeing some of the notes that I've taken over the past years, and how things that I read were like, huh, that hasn't changed. Or some of them like, wow, I can't believe I'm reading this, and that's already been done. So it was real neat to look back on, and those are just two of the things that popped out that I think that we strongly should consider trying to maybe in planning, especially for to finish out the year, as well as maybe look into the future for next year.
I believe it's a very excellent idea. Is the council is going to organize this, and we're going to have a committee for this? How are we going to do this? We have to do it, let's organize it and take it away.
Well, how about I'll reach out. And I didn't even say this, as part of the chili cook-off, I was able to convince Senator Robinson and Representative Kulik to do chilies. So I'm thinking of trying to do a little competition between any politicians that are interested in doing it. So I reached out to Satpad and a few others. So hopefully we can get that going. So I talk to Devlin at least once a month, if not more. And I can also, and because of my job, I talk to a lot of the municipalities in this area. So I can at least start the communication, and then we can put together a group or whatever Bill wants to do when he's back. So.
Well, I believe that you are elected to be the chair.
I didn't hear all in favor.
Wow. Thank you so much. Anything else we got here? When is the
September 17th.
I want to be on that one first.
I'll give you a ticket, Nina.
Be my
Yeah,
friend.
I'll get you a ticket. Next meeting, I'll get you a ticket. You need judges, right?
Yeah. think we already have one in the room that already volunteered.
I will volunteer if I don't cook.
I'd rather you cook. Because it's September, so I think the weather's gonna be warmer, there's no Steeler game that day. I think we're gonna get a huge turnout, so I'm excited about it.
My husband wouldn't eat chili, it was the last meal.
He told me that this afternoon.
But if the borough wants to put a booth together, I'll be glad to help. I do make them eat chili. And I freeze it.
He's on.
I mean,
It's
the
on.
borough, I'm not cooking just to front me. If the borough wants to.
I think I have a trophy somewhere from before.
I know the bank has one too.
You're gonna put Debbie's name in for a help?
I have forms on our website, and I was gonna talk to Debbie after the meeting.
Well, that has to be you guys. I'm just gonna help you guys. You make a spaghetti sauce and meatball to top
That's different, that's different. Hey, it's how you word it.
I make a motion we adjourn.
Yeah. Second, everybody in favor?
Aye.